Hi, and thank you for joining me at the Things Conference. My name is Rob Cartwright, and my presentation today is making a business from LoRaWAN deployment. We are not focused on a specific vertical market or single product, but instead we're focused on the LoRaWAN technology itself in deploying solutions horizontally across many sectors and applications such as smart buildings, smart cities, agriculture, tourism. I suggest if you want to create a business around LoRaWAN, then I definitely suggest you engage with the TTN Things Network, because they've got a massive resource of educational training courses, YouTube videos, and of course the Things Network community network server. Then really it's down to getting experience of installing and doing most of our work is external gateways. So some are easier than others. This is reasonably straightforward installation of you can see an external gateway there on its own frame on a flat roof. Pretty much straightforward. And some are more difficult. This is an installation that I did. That's me up a tall, narrow tower, and you soon get to realise you've got to take everything with you. You really don't want to go up and down. So once you've got that sort of experience, but really because they're external, we do like to get our gateways mounted high up, and so a lot of the time we use access equipment. So as a commercial installer, if you're looking to this as a business, you've really got to understand the costs involved in hiring such equipment, and then obviously you can pass that on to as part of a project or direct to the client. You don't always have buildings to attach to, or power, or internet, so you need to be creative. This is a solution, a solar PV powered solution that we did, where we've got enough solar PV and battery storage to keep the gateway going 24 hours a day. And again, nice solutions that can make or break a project for a client. You, as the installer, as the person who's actually going to install this equipment, you need to start doing site surveys. You can use tools like this. Is simple Google Earth or Google Maps to look at distances between gateways and potential device locations. We use a software tool called CloudRF to do the simulations. So what we've done here is we place the antenna on a building, specific building of a client, and we can map coverage. Then what we can do is we can move the antenna around, and then see what sort of coverage we get. But to be honest, the absolute best the best method really for mapping coverage is to go to site, and we use TTN Mapper. So with TTN Mapper, we can map a site out, find if there's any dead spots, and then either move the gateway and do it again, or we can look at putting a second gateway in. And we do like to put more than one gateway, gives us a bit of redundancy, and also helps with automatic data rate, helps with battery life. So where we can get two gateways in, we will. You then get on to sensor installation experience, and the one thing you need to learn is obviously adapting sensors, making brackets to get them to fit them into place. This is one we did for an underground water storage solution, where we're monitoring the distance down to the water level. So it was like the first go at a bracket, and then we made a better second, like Mark II bracket, where we could lift it out for any servicing, or if they wanted to get into the tank. So you do get to work these things out as a commercial installer. This one we're doing a float switch into a tall tank, And then things like this, where it's a water meter. Again, a small bracket, and this water meter is about a mile away, a kilometre, more than a kilometre away from the nearest gateway. It's underground, it's under a steel manhole cover, so you're working solutions out all the time. One thing you will do is you'll build up a kit. You'll build up a kit of tools. And you don't want to carry everything. The very nature of LoRaWAN is long distance. Yeah? So you can be a long way from the gateway. You could be a long way from an office. You can be a long way from a car. For instance, this water meter, this was quite a long walk from the nearest road where the only place we could park the vehicle, and we had to carry everything with it, and to fit all that. So you do really hone down the amount of tools you need, and that's for setting up provisioning the device, or setting up the meter readings, for instance, and cutting that into the pipe. You'll get yourself a set of tools for LoRaWAN devices. The reason I've shown you these pictures, close-ups of an installation, is really get into the habit. I really recommend get into the habit of taking step-by-step photographs of all the work that you do, of all these LoRaWAN installations. This is important as you build a team, because as you build that team out, you can then show them these step-by-step guides, and also if there's any issues and things later, you can discuss them with your team, and you can see what other people have done on your behalf. You can see a weather station installation, all standalone there, and again you get the idea of what you're going to carry to locate to the site. Record everything, absolutely record everything. Now, when I started installing LoRaWAN devices, for the first time, you're just completely overwhelmed by the fact that it works. You're a long way from your gateways. You're down in a pit, or you're so surprised that it actually works over these huge distances, and you just leave the device. And I did this for a long time, and about 3 months later, I realised that I had an issue with a device, or battery life wasn't as expected. And what I realised there was actually I didn't have any records of what I did. So record everything, and now we actually operate a sensor database. So we've got a device database. So every time we provision a device, we record all the settings, data rates, even things like what type of battery. So the make and model of the battery. So if we notice a pattern over a certain deployment of sensors, it might point to that particular brand or batch of batteries. So do record everything as you go through a commercial installation. So as soon as we started doing commercial installations and paid for services, we switched to things to TTN Enterprise, to the V3 stack. And the reason we did that is actually there's a lot more information that you can get, specific information, things like join requests, things like data rates. It's a much better tool. Plus, we distinguish between our paid clients on TTN Enterprise and our community work with TTM. And it's fair on the Things Industries, because after all they've helped you get started. So by switching to the paid for services, it's really maintaining that whole ecostructure really. You can start doing dashboards for clients, so they can see their data. But the real thing for us as a business is the service and maintenance contracts, looking after networks on behalf of clients. Because that's actually what we do. We are providing a full turnkey service with the networks. So this is our business model. We are a system integrator. We have the LoRaWAN hardware sales. It's low margin on hardware, but it tends to be high volume, especially with sensor devices, not necessarily gateways, but sensors. The gateway installation charge, and you saw like with the access equipment, things like that. But we tend to just cover the cost there. Provisioning, this is where you add value. Unlike a retailer who's just selling a sensor, we're actually provisioning the device on behalf of our client. We're provisioning it to the network, to the application. So that's added value, so that's a higher margin. The network maintenance is where we've got the skills, a lot of skills in maintaining a network, so that's added value, higher margin. Sensor adaptations, so we're doing bespoke solutions for a client, and bespoke is value added. And then you've got the data storage. So data storage is super low margin, but it is it's high volume, and then it's ongoing. So you're talking 3, 4, 5 years of turnover then. One of the big or best income for us really is the best business is collaboration, and it comes from collaborating with other service providers, especially niche software services in vertical markets, and such as agriculture. We are the hardware provider, and we maintain a reliable LoRaWAN network for those businesses, so they can focus on delivering their own solutions to their clients. So we're the hardware provider to them, and we maintain the network, and that's our best business. That's where we've made the biggest gains, is in collaborating with other partners such as that. Just quickly on a break-even point of view, just so you know, for the first 12 months we had to work out exactly what we were doing, all the costs involved. It was quite painful really in some ways about laying out costs or not realising to do certain things. We were testing a lot of hardware. We've tested over 20 different manufacturers of gateways, over 100 different manufacturers of sensor devices, and we've built that client base. But the break-even point really came for us when we had about 40 gateways installed, about 1,000 devices. So from that hardware sales, the monthly subscriptions, and then the actual contract to maintain those LoRaWAN networks as an integrator, system integrated business, that's actually where we sort of saw the break even. So really, LoRaWAN, big smiley face, and that's because we love LoRaWAN. We really do as a technology. The fact that we're always surprised at some of the distances we get. And it puts a smile on our client's face as well. When we're doing collaborations with people and we deploy the networks and we deploy the sensors, it's astonishing, really, is what you can achieve with LoRaWAN. So it's it's a good business to be in. So really, it's short and sweet. If you've got any questions or any queries on thinking of starting a business in LoRaWAN, thinking of doing that system integration, or being what we call the cold face installer, the people actually on the ground doing installations, then you can find me on LinkedIn and you can ask any questions. Okay, thank you and enjoy the Things Conference.